Dr. Ophelia Goins. Is Mr. Bullock on? Mr. Bullock's not on yet. Is Mr. Cogdell on?
Yes.
Mr. Cogdell's on. Mr. Bullock currently is not on. At this time, I call the meeting to order, and Mr. Warren Hill from Bethel Church in Dublin will do the invocation, and Mr. Martin will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand.
Father, thank you so much for the honor to be here tonight to pray. I pray for our county commissioners, Lord. I pray for each one of them individually and as a group, Lord, that you'll help them, give them knowledge and wisdom, discernment and understanding on how to carry out the business of this county, Lord. I just pray that you'll guide them, direct, draw them closer to you. And I pray, Lord, that you will be with each one of them. And we thank you for all you do and pray that the business that we handle here tonight may be happy. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to
the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Warren, thank you for coming tonight. At this time, ask for a motion to approve the consent items.
Great.
Motion to approve. Second. Motion by Mr. Gillespie, second by Mr. Britt. Any discussion? Ms. Marie.
Mr. Peterson?
Yes.
Mr. Gillespie?
Yes.
Mr. Britt?
Yes.
Dr. Ellis?
Yes.
Mr. Hester?
Yes.
Mr. McGill?
Yes.
Dr. Goins?
Yes. Yes.
Mr. Cogdell?
Yes.
Did Mr. Bullock ever get on?
No.
Okay. Okay, item 3, I declare a public hearing to receive comments regarding the proposed $200,000 forgivable loan. Is anyone here to speak on the public hearing? If not, I declare the public hearing closed. Item 4, individual delegation to wish commissioner, Ms. Marie.
Yes, sir. Is Judy Hester? Yes.
Yes, I'm Julie Hester, and I live out there on Lewis and Hester Road, 211 Business, North Bladen, North Carolina. And we have a lot of problems with this water. The ditch has been done since 2015. And they told me at one time that they was going to maintain the ditch. And I spoke with Greg Morris, and he told me they didn't tell me that. And I said I should have put it in writing. And now this ditch, once it rains, maybe for a week, 3 or 4 days, this water is coming back on, and it doesn't have anywhere to run off. And the ditches out there side of the road, the 211 business, the pipes are closed up, the water cannot drain, it's steady backing up on us. And we need some help. We truly need some help. And it's getting worse by the day. And that ditch, they dug 2015, once it filled up, the water runs back on me, in my yard. And I got sinkholes, my septic tank, they are washed up out the ground. It's just a mess around there. Right today, it's still a mess, but it claims they have no money. That's what this thing was addressed to me a few minutes ago. But if we could get a grant, that would help us out a great deal. Because for me, instance, I'm disabled, I'm on a fixed income, I can't move so much. But truly, we need a ditch, though, where the water will be able to get off of us. And having the fire odors over there, I have health issues with my I'm on aspirin, and the fumes is coming up from that contaminated water, and getting it in, and it's not good on my health, on my health, and my neighbor's health. But the majority was not well. I have a few of them was unable to come, and because of their disability, and they addressed this level, which I like. And I have some pictures right here to show how the water, this water right here. Once the ditch fill up, how that water comes back home. Nowhere to go. It's in my yard. I'm able to do everything. Every time I can't even walk out there in my yard because it's so much water. I have to put roofs on. So I need an answer. Because I don't have the funds to go out there and to dig a ditch with the fire hose that's coming up from the contaminated water. And the land erosion, the water that's in the ditches, what the water's doing, it's causing the soil to run down in the ditch. And then the water's feeding back on me. That's Wilson Hester Road. Yeah. Yeah, Wilson Hester.
So Miss Judy,
Yes.
we'll, Mr. Martin, Mr. Dean, and we'll get with DOT and we'll go back in the
Okay, please do.
I will.
Because we truly need some help out here.
We'll go look at it, so what
Yes.
we'll do.
Okay, so we're gonna keep those pictures in the
Well,
minutes.
unless you want them back,
No, I don't want that. I have,
we'll get them back to you.
Okay, all right, no problem. And I'm quite sure Mr. Dave Morris, he has my phone number, so he'll be able to contact me. You know, I'm in and out as if you say.
But we'll revisit and see, let you know what we decide.
Okay, so about maybe a couple of months, a month, what?
No, we'll let you know in a few days.
Yeah, 2 days?
Yeah.
All right, and I thank you so
I
much.
said I'm gonna do anything, I said we're gonna let you know.
Let me know something. Okay, no, I got you. I got you, yes.
Yeah, we can go. Oh, for yours, son.
Because it's true, it's bad out there.
We'll go visit it and, see what we can come up with.
Okay, all right, I appreciate it.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Ms. Michelle Allen.
Hi, how are you?
Thank you.
I'm going to follow up with Ms. Hester on the Avenue Business 211. I mean, I came down here through being pulled out due to not enough. All right, so I already came down here with a certified health effects from Ground Zero. And since I've been here, I didn't know I was going to stay there for about 2 years. You know, but the process, I've been a witness since Dorian and Florence, what is happening down here. And what she said was true, the water is backing up into the houses, sometimes stay for weeks before it subsides. You know, mosquitoes, it has a big problem with mosquitoes. And inside the house, a house was demolished on the left, on the left and in the front of me, you know, due to health, weather damage, water erosion, mildew or mold, stuff like that. And since I've been there, I've been noticing also that I've been having some form of health effects. That's why I committed. And this is, you know, I have to show you what is happening because here's the picture. This wasn't even in the closet, but in the closet, you can put your suits, your boots in the closet, and it seems like there's fuzzy stuff forming on my shoes and on the suits. You know, my suitcases and stuff, and I had to turn around and take a lot of stuff to the clean, stuff like that. And my breathing, I used to sleep apnea. You can, I should be using it more than I should. But I've been noticing that something it feels like my health is diminishing, is being. So I have to relocate, you know what I mean? But the thing is that what I wanted to find out, because I looked at the budget, I mean, you do have a wastewater treatment plant or water operations. Is there any of this money being administered in the Richardson area? How are you using the money in the new budget as far as building, pipes in certain areas and what is your like 5-year, 10-year goal as far as that particular county? You know what I mean? That Richardson area. As far as improvement? Or do you see, and I'm just going to keep it very real, FEMA deeming it a health hazard because of the hurricane? Have they ever talked about that?
Miss Allen, do you live in Bladen?
Yes, I've been here for 2 years. I've been
You live on Lewis Hester Road?
I'm right on 211 Highway West. Where Miss Rosa, one who cooks very well.
Yeah.
Used to live.
Okay.
I want to ask you or Ms. Hester, are there beavers involved with the backup at all, or is it just purely backup?
Neighbors.
Are there some beavers involved? Okay.
You said neighbors or neighbors?
No, I meant, are there beavers, building dams, are they part of the water problem at all? I was just wondering.
It's not on that road. There might be some beavers toward the swamp, but not there. There's no beavers in that ditch.
Mhm.
So, we're gonna look at it, we're gonna get back with you. We're doing all we can with cleaning out the swamps and canals and everything. We're spending every penny we can get to do it. We're working hard as we can do it.
Yeah, because I wasn't getting a skin, I went to the doctor, he gave me something for it. But then I also said, they also told me, I don't think I'm going to and I've been here 2 years. I don't know, you know what I mean? It's like you're sitting there saying, well, what is doing it, you know what I mean? But I have a feeling it has to do with the health effects of the water. And then another fact, in one of the bedrooms, the carpet is damp. So that means the water must be accumulating from the bottom of the house. They keep it in good condition, but the thing is, it's an old house. And I just want to state, I know we don't have to on the agenda, but I did give a folder of the free health care for 2090 that is covered by the World Health Program for terrorism disasters, and now they've included COVID. And they might, if the commissioners look at it, they might include natural disasters in the fund. They may include natural disasters involved. Because there's 2090, it covers a array of health effects for responders and civilians. All right? Thank you very much.
So, if there's houses there because of FEMA or some of the floods, you need to talk to Mr. Nathan Dallas. Or Nathan. You need to talk to Mr. Nathan. Walk outside and talk to Mr. Nathan Dallas.
Okay.
Because he's been advertising for people that needs help for years.
Yeah, so they deem it a no rental zone after a while. If they're not getting enough money to improve it. But hopefully that's not the case. There's a lot of residents with this issue. All right, God bless.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Mr. Peterson, can you pass the exposure here, please? Thank you.
Anyone else?
It's
Ma'am?
Plotnick.
Ms. Luke?
Plotnick. Hi, hello. I know you guys have already addressed the issue with Hester, Lewis and Hester, that's my mother, I came up earlier, and I'm just here on her behalf because I know she's been having health issues, not only herself, but her neighbors and other people that live in that community. And I know that you just said that you were going to address the issue, but you guys have been saying you're going to address the issue for 5 years now. She has a ditch, as Mr. Marsh stated where we went earlier, that it was her responsibility to clear that, but you guys have irrigation issues that are flowing onto her property, and that needs to be addressed. I mean, it's been going on forever.
All we can do is ask for help and ask for money. The county is not in the drainage or the ditch business. We have to rely on DOT, or we have to rely on federal money coming in to help us.
Okay, and I understand that, but.
And that's what we'll go look at and see what we can get to try to help.
Bladen County Environmental Protection Agency, their responsibility is to address the hazards and the health concerns of the community. Yes. Yes.
Well, if there's money available. I mean,
Okay, so.
if you don't have the money,
But I'm sure
can't
we can
address it.
find some.
Well, we look every day.
I mean, I'm available, I'm for hire if you need some help.
You're free.
I can, I volunteer.
No, we'll go look at it, so we'll do it, promise. And do it next 2 or 3 days. I don't know what we're gonna do, but we can go look and get all the players back out there and see. But we will do
I
that.
also think you can do that so I can take off and.
Well, as soon as I can get DOT to meet us out there, maybe tomorrow.
Okay. Let us know. You'll let us know?
Yeah, what's your number?
My number is 910-366-2097.
name?
Kenya. Kenya. Last name is Plotnick, Plotnik.
Okay. When I find out, I get all the players there, I'll call you.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Ms. Yolanda Lewis.
Mr. Chairman, this is Commissioner Bullock.
Okay, thank you. Hey,
I live at the end of the road that Ms. Hester talking about. So I live at the back of that Lewis and Hester Road. And there's more water at the back of that road than there is where she's at. I get the brunt of it. And the gentleman that wrote the letter that stays across from me, we see the brunt of that water. I mean, when I say it's water, it's a lot of water. I don't have pictures as she has, but I have pictures on my phone. He has a field across from his house and mine. His field is like a lake. That's how much water it is. My front yard, the front and the sides are full of water when it rains for days like that. I got stuck in my yard about a month ago because of the water. It's bad back on that back end. It's really, really bad. There's nowhere for the water to drain. There's no drainage. The ditches are there, but there's nowhere for the water to go. So when it rains for 2-3 days, the water just, it backs up. And by the time it clears out, it rains again. So it's like when it finally dries up, you're right back where you are again. So, you know, I live on that road, so I can actually tell you what it's like. And I live all the way at the back. So I passed the assessor's house going to my house, and it's bad. It's bad.
Is that where Miss Terry Hester used to live?
Yes, she's I'm right here, and her house is right there. And it is bad back there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go look.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ms. Lydia White.
Good evening. I'm just here on behalf of, that's my sister Yolanda Lewis, and Judy Hester is my neighbor at my mom's or whatever, but you all pretty much, they have stated, you know, everything about the water. You said you looked into it, so I don't really have much to say.
Okay, well, thank you. Okay. Matters of interest to commissioners. Anyone have any?
Yes, I have one, Mr. President.
Okay, Mr. Goddell.
I've got a lot of calls in reference to drainage issues in the county. Is it any way possible that we can get Mr. Martin and Dean to give us an assessment of where we're having major problems with irrigation flooding throughout the county? So when they call, we can be aware of at least places that's down by.
Okay. Anything else, Mr. Goddell?
That's all I did.
Mr. Cameron?
I was thinking as the citizens were speaking, you know, when I'm a commissioner and also a preacher, and the Bible says that God's not a respecter of persons, and unfortunately neither is Mother Nature. And I agree with our chairman, we're going to do everything in our power, but if you drive through Bladen County right now, whether you're in Hammond or Kelly or White Oak or Tobermoor, whether you're in the poorest of communities or the most wealthy, Bay Tree and White Lake, pretty much everything's underwater right now. And it's scary. You look at the weather forecast, you start praying for some dry weather. But I think all of us take it very seriously and do our part. But it's a major problem. It's not going to be a simple solution, unfortunately. If it was, we'd already done it. I know where I live, if you do solve your problems, you pretty much are doing it by giving somebody else a problem. So, just, I guess, appreciate your patience.
Anyone else?
Chair.
Yes, ma'am.
I have two issues of concern. One, can we get an update on the Beaver program?
Yes, ma'am.
One, the second one, I know I got a call from 3 citizens of the Tomahawk area. Now, they did say they called Mr. Martin or someone at that office, and they wanted some assistance with the ditch. It's in a curve. I guess the trees have grown in the curve or in that area, so now it's now safe. They cannot actually pull out of their homes or their driveway. They can't see due to the large amount of trees in the ditch. So can we get some help on that as well for POC?
Will you send us a physical address, please?
Yeah, and I sent the pictures about 2 months ago, but I'll send them again.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Brett?
Back to your flooding area, I would encourage any of you folks with your complaints, because I share the same concern in my house. Complain also with your legislators, which handles the state money, which is where we get the money from. And we can't even get funds and get the state to pick up the trash along the highways. Every road is pretty much a state highway, but the county doesn't have the funding to actually be picking up the litter. And whatever is being picked up is in great thanks to our sheriff and the inmates that he's using. But that would be a great help if you would also complain with the people above and beyond the county. But we have to get our money from Mr. Morrison, everybody else from the state when it comes to the ditches and all. And the trash. Because it's terrible.
Any other commissioner got anything?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Bullock,
Okay.
I just wanted to say that I've been on since 6:30. I had some mechanical problem, but I've been on the agenda and everything since 6:30.
That's good. Thank you. Okay. Item 6, Revenue Department, Ms. Renee Davis. Item A is consider accepting a bid on county-owned property at Pine Acres Road, Wallet. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we accept the bid.
Motion by Mr. Butler, second by Dr. Ofield Montgomery. Any discussion? Ms. Marie?
Mr. Peterson?
Yes.
Mr. Gillespie?
Yes.
Mr. Britt?
Yes.
Dr. Ellis?
Yes.
Mr. Hester?
Yes.
Mr. McGill?
Yes.
Dr. Montgomery?
Yes.
Mr. Bullock?
Yes.
Mr. Cogdale?
Yes.
Item B.
Item B is that we have a report of unpaid 2020 taxes that are linked on the real property. And as you can see, the taxes, this was done on January 26th, and right now our current taxes, we have 13% less to collect than at this time last year. Just know our levy was up there to Smithfield, which when they paid, makes our collection rate higher, and our office is constantly helping and educating taxpayers to pay in a timely manner. I do appreciate all the work that they've been doing. And at that time, I just needed to see if y'all could consider to approve to advertise any unpaid taxes for the current year, 2020, and that would be on or by March 19th.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Arthur Bullock, second by Mr. Britt. Any discussion?
Mr. Peterson?
Yes.
Mr. Gillespie?
Yes.
Mr. Britt?
Yes.
Dr. Ellis?
Yes.
Mr. Hester?
Yes.
Mr. McGill?
Yes.
Dr. Montgomery?
Yes.
Mr. Bullock?
Yes.
Mr. Cogdale?
Yes.
Thank you.
Item C.
Greg, could I ask one question, please, to Ms. Davis? Ms. Davis, is the collection rate still running at the rate that's only running at the rate collection rate running in the revenue department so far?
For current year, the collection rate is a little higher than it was last See if I got it.
Emergency service, Mr. Nathan Dallas.
Good evening. I think you have a contract in your packet asking for your consideration of awarding a demolition contract for Corbett Clearing and Demolition LLC for 2 properties on the hazard mitigation program, one in Ivanhoe and one in Kill.
Motion by Mr. Brett, second by Mr. Gillespie. Any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Alderman, I have 2 questions. Am I correct, the award bids were submitted and the contractor for the one listed? Am I talking about, is it the same thing?
Yes, ma'am. The 2 listed on the contract, we put it out for bid. We only received 1 bid back. We had to put it out again. We then received 2 bids back, and we took the lowest bid. And we sent these 2 properties out at the same time.
Okay. Well, let me ask you one question then.
Okay.
So with this person or this company that is they one who actually you recommend, is they do a second bid or you kept the original bid?
No, under our procurement rules, once we send a bid out, if we only get 1 bid back, we have to send it out again for bid. On the second time, if we only get 1 bid, correct me, we can accept it. Well, the second time we sent it back out, we received 2 bids back, and Corbett Clearing and Demolition was the lowest bid for these 2 properties of demolition.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Reed?
Mr. Peterson?
Yes.
Mr. Gillespie?
Yes.
Mr. Britt?
Yes.
Dr. Ellis?
Yes.
Mr. Hester?
Yes.
Mr. McGill?
Yes.
Dr. Mungowens?
Yes.
Mr. Bullock?
Yes.
Mr. Cogdale?
Yes.
Thank you.
Item 8, Soil and Water Conservation District, Mr. Dean Morris.
I wanted to update you on, we had a situation up on Highway 410, where Slender Branch, south of Bladen County, where this light has a range problem. That's been mentioned a couple of times here, and I just wanted to tell you that we were putting together a contract. She's at the head of Slender Branch, and that will go into the Big Swamp. And we're also, we've got a contract with Horseman Branch, and that's why we included these maps, so you can see what we're going to do with Stock 2002. And in hopes that this will alleviate some of the drainage issues. Now, this is storm debris. Let's keep in mind, this is really to remove trees and things that were deposited from a hurricane. In particular, a particular hurricane, the last hurricane, Hurricane Florence. When we get feelings like this, we try to utilize them and get it from that. And we try to pick the right contractors we're getting in there. And if there's any obstructions, we try to get those out while we're there. Okay, for any dangerous problems. And stay within the state of council. So, I wanted to give you an update on that. Yes, I will give you an update on the Beaver program. It's working very well. We'll try to do that in the near future, give you exact numbers. And we'll have that in comparison to years past, so what kind of cost dollar, what the county's spending, and what kind of money for our bucket will be. This Lewis Hester that we've had tonight, road, we did win into the ditch system in 2015. We put a main laterals. In order for this to ever work, this is really a bowl that's west of Bladen County, the whole border. We had to have cooperation from DOT to lower the road, the culvert crossing the road, 1.5 feet to even make a ditch work. And without their cooperation, there would be no ditch. But the ditch, in my opinion, is working, but it's not going to work to the satisfaction of the community until a few additional things. So we're gonna go out there and address that, and try to, if we can't make it work.
Thank you, Dan. Any questions?
Any question, ask any question, please.
Yes, sir, go ahead.
Mr. Dean, I know now over the past several years, the hurricanes and the rainfall, this constant like this situation we have at this time. Do you have enough staff, or are you available to address all the concerns, needs, can your staff handle it, or you the only staff, or how do you handle all these concerns?
We can always use,
do you need that help? That's what I'm asking.
we can always use additional staff, but I think we can handle what we have with the budget of the county like it is. I'm gonna tell you, this is an unusual time. We usually have about 48 inches of rain in Bladen County. Last year we had 83. Think about that. That's the fourth largest rainfall in our history of record keeping. This is not normal. Look at this first month of 2021, the amount of rain we've had, and it's continuing on. Our ditch system cannot handle it. Everybody needs to look beyond their yard and see that everyone is underwater. Every yard is saturated. Every ditch is full. Every river is full. And where that river drains is full. That's the problem. And there's no immediate solution. There's efforts going on, and it's a lot bigger than just what you see. But there are efforts to not remedy, but to address it.
So you're actually out to your staff level.
We're okay now.
Any other questions? Thank you, Dan. Good job. 9 is 2021 Go Red for Women.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. February is National Park Month, and the first Friday of every February is Go Red for Women Day. Why is that important? We know that from our last community health assessment, the leading cause of death for men and women in Bladen County was heart disease. Bladen County leads the indicators in a negative direction. In other words, we're worse for all of the indicators related to heart disease and stroke than North Carolina is. Those indicators for the Medicaid population are stroke, hypertension, age of death rate, and atrial fibrillation. Atrial fibrillation is actually in a negative trend. The others have been in a negative trend, but not to the significant point that atrial fibrillation is. For women, heart disease is the #1 killer for women nationally. 1 in 3 women nationally will die of heart disease. We ask you to join us on Friday by wearing red, and you've been given a Wear Red pin. And please encourage not only the women in your families, in your workplace, but the men as well to do so to help increase awareness. And what can we do about this? Some of the things that we can do are like the Healthy Holiday Challenge that we just recently did during November and January. We have planned this month, we have a captive audience now where we have 15 minutes for folks to wait after they've gotten their COVID vaccination. So we have planned heart disease awareness and what we can do to prevent it during that time. I encourage you please to join us. So the next item on the agenda is the COVID-19. We have a little bit better news this time than when we met 2 weeks before. 2 weeks ago, we're running in that 16% positivity or so. Today is much better. Not out of the woods, but much better. We think we have now gotten through the Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year, and are beginning to level out. So in North Carolina today, there were 761,302 positive cases since the beginning, with 2,781 hospitalized. Remember, that was around the 4,000 before. 9,342 deaths, and 683,697. For Bladen County, we have 2,633. Of note here, we added 29% of our positive cases in the month of December. In the month of January, we added 25% in December. So over 1,100 is what we added between December and January for both our positive cases as well as our deaths. Our deaths currently are at 34. We added 10 for the month of January. Currently, we have 261 active cases. Remember, for every one of those, we've probably got 4 more that we don't know. Currently hospitalized, we have 11, and I ask that you pray for the families that have lost members of COVID, but as well as those that are in the hospital. We have some very sick people in the hospital this week. Recovered, we have 2,338 in Bladen County. Percentage-wise, in the state, there was 9.7% positivity in North Carolina and 9.9% for Bladen County. We continue to test with approximately 22,500 tests performed in Bladen County. We are testing Monday through Friday at the health department as well as CVS, some of the local providers, and Commonwealth Health is testing by appointment. We have worked with the jail, and now they're doing some rapid testing there, and we're going back to school, and their test pilot project with rapid testing is in effect there as of today. So the vaccine, of course, is what's on everybody's mind. Bladen County is not immune, as is other counties in Bladen County, in North Carolina, and nationally. The supply is limited. We have been assured by the state that we will receive a basic allotment for this week and 2 weeks moving forward. I did receive a small equity allotment for this week, but we're not guaranteed that in the 2 weeks forward. We are able on most days that if we get the allotment, we can put it in the arm within 24 hours. Unless we have scheduled second doses, and then I have to wait a little bit more. We stand ready to give whatever they will give us. I did ask for more than twice the amount that I was given, even with the extra.
Thank you, Dr. Duncan. Item 10 is advisory board for February 15th. And item 11 is county manager report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to review the calendar with you for the month of January, February, March, actually. Point out this Thursday, the 4th of February at 12 p.m., the JCPC virtual monthly meeting will be held. The Health and Human Services Advisory Committee meets on Monday the 8th at 5 p.m. Just want to bring your reminder, on Wednesday the 10th at 9 a.m. we have a board planning session at Bladen Community College in Building 14. On Thursday from 10 until 11:30, Southeastern North Carolina Southeast Partnerships virtual annual meeting will take place. On Monday the 15th at 6:30 p.m. the board meets here, and also we have a pre-budget public hearing that evening. I want to also let you know, this may not be on the calendar, but on Thursday the 25th at 12 noon, the chamber will have its annual meeting and awards program, and that will be a virtual meeting. Moving over to March, there's a prayer service here on Monday the 1st at 8 a.m. The board meets that evening at 6:30. JCPC meets on the 4th. Health and Human Services Advisory Committee meets on the 8th. The Bladen County Substance Use Disorder Task Force will meet at Bladen Community College on Tuesdays at night at 6:30 p.m. That's an evening meeting at different times, so we hope you all can attend if possible. On Monday the 15th, there's a special meeting at 5 p.m. regarding the FY 21-22 budget. Also, the board has a regular meeting that evening at 6:30. And then on Wednesday through Friday, the 24th through the 26th, the NACO Legislative Conference will take place in that virtual meeting.
Okay.
All right, moving on to the next item. Just wanted to update you. I know Dr. Mungo was asked at the last meeting for an update regarding the OL period. I had
I think, the Division of Aging have a meeting for this month because it was rescheduled for the 2018 at 3:00 p.m.
Are you asking us?
I'm telling you.
Oh, you're telling us. It's when?
For the 25th at 3 p.m. It was a reschedule.
On February 25th
Yeah.
at 3 p.m.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
But I want to let you know that LL Ferry, that DOT plans to issue an RFP in late February. And this is again for the operation of the LL Ferry. Hopefully the let date will be mid-March to first part of April, and then it'll be operational on May 1st. And that again depends on, that we know how the river levels get so high, depending on the river level. Hopefully May 1st will be operational.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Individual delegation wish to address commissioners. Anyone have any matters of interest to the commissioner? Anyone have anything else tonight?
For anything? Are we down to that part? Public hearing, general information to the public?
We're an individual's delegation wishing to address the commissioners. You want to sign up to speak again? Sign up.
Michelle Allen.
I just want to say, since I've been here for the past 2 years, I realized that the library can be used as an information central network for all the meetings, programs and resources, extracurricular activities that's going on in the community, and, housing and, opportunities out here. It could be used, a little bit better because we don't have I don't see a resource center where somebody can go in and say, okay, what's going on in the community? What's happening? Having senior programs, learn how to knit, learn how to build something,
We have senior citizens right there across from DSS. Our resource centers out there at the old prison camp, we have all that in place.
Now, that should be also stated in the library so somebody know where to go. You know what I mean? Because if you knew, you don't know where to go. And it seems like, that the first place you would think to go is the library. So that's important. And I just want to state, as far as the 9/11 community is concerned, there's a lot of resources, philanthropist money, that was designated for education and outreach that can go for BORAD for women and the natural disasters as well as terrorist disasters and COVID-19. So, if you can kind of pool it, because a lot of the resources are still in New York City. And then since 9/11, they have moved throughout the states. NICOSH, New York City Occupational Safety Hazard Organization, has the map where all the responders and the survivors have went throughout the United States. So if you have enough stats for your state, some of that money that's being funded into New York City can be pulled into North Carolina for education and outreach. You understand? And maybe even, if we get some North Carolina centers, World Trade Health centers, here, a perfect example is Southeastern Medical, because they have a rehabilitation health center there that the responders can use when they come back to North Carolina. They can use that while they're rehabilitating when they're pull out on retirement. So we need more North Carolina World Trade Health programs here. They don't have to commute to New York City. All right, and the folder will explain all the benefits that came out of the Zagula Act. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Any commissioner have anything to add?
Mr. Phillips, may I have her name, please? Young lady was speaking.
Michelle J. Allen.
Oh, that's me.
Yeah.
that motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Let's talk about
Second.
Second by Mr. Cosdale. Ms. Moran?
Mr. Peterson?
Yes.
Mr. Gillespie?
Yes.
Mr. Britt?
Yes.
Dr. Ellis?
Yes.
Mr. Hester?
Yes.